Hello, welcome to a new episode of What is Happening in Brazil. Check out what happened this week.
More than half the fruits and vegetables consumed in Brazil have pesticide residues. That's what a survey disclosed by the country's regulatory agency, Anvisa, showed on December 10th. The research looked into more than 4,500 samples of 14 types of fruits and vegetables, and also showed that 1/4 of them had higher concentrations of pesticides than what the agency itself allows. The Anvisa claimed that the products are safe despite these results. For experts, however, the agency's attitude towards the issue and the fact that it did not address pesticide-free production alternatives show Brazilians that the Anvisa has been advocating for the interests of big businesses. While the country has seen a surge in the number of pesticides approved this year, several initiatives are fighting and advocating for agroecological farming systems as an alternative that respects the environment and consumer health. One example is the landless workers movement, which, after decades of struggle, became Latin America's biggest organic rice producer. The MST's example demonstrates that producing food on a large scale without pesticides is possible. Bumba Meu Boi, a cultural and ritualistic practice in the Amazonian state of Maranhão, was officially listed as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity by UNESCO on December 11th, after a meeting held by the organization's dedicated committee in Bogotá, Colombia. Listed as a cultural heritage in Brazil since 2011, the cultural complex Bumba Meu Boi now receives international recognition. The festival is celebrated not only in Maranhão, but also in other northern and northeastern states. It is deeply rooted in folk Catholicism and Afro-Brazilian religious practices. It was listed as a cultural complex because it combines forms of musical, choreographic, performing, and ludic expression, in which practitioners also make special props and instruments. The story is about the death and resurrection of an ox and portrays popular characters of Brazilian history, like indigenous people and vaqueiros or cowboys. Bumba Meu Boi is the 6th Brazilian celebration to be added in UNESCO's list of intangible cultural heritage.
Only 13% of the waste produced in Brazilian cities are recycled, and waste pickers are responsible for almost 90% of waste that actually gets recycled. Today, there are about 2,000 waste pickers organizations in all regions of the country. This year, Brazil's first waste pickers cooperative, called Copamari, celebrates its 30th anniversary. It is a groundbreaking group that was able to organize these workers and push the government to officially recognize them. But despite these achievements, waste pickers still struggle with discrimination in their everyday work. The story of the organization and the challenge its members face are the top of our Story of the Week.
Every waste picker back then, everyone who was struggling, picked waste as a last resort. It was on the streets that waste pickers started to play a central role. Our work is equal to that of a doctor, a driver, of several different professionals out there.
Igual várias profissões que existem.
There is no shame in being a waste picker. We are not ashamed of it. In the past, all doors were closed for us. Not here. Here, the doors open up.
They think that we are garbage. We are not garbage. We are human beings, and we do something good for humanity. For themselves, for ourselves.
All the waste, the materials we sell, become raw materials for something new. They build an economy in the city, and we are part of this economy. By collecting recyclables, picking these materials, we are earning income and creating jobs.
I'm able to support my home, pay my debts, do my things.
Many people can't find jobs at the age they are now, so the cooperative is very important for everyone's lives.
We are not always able to earn good money. We can afford food, but it's a little hard to support the house.
Today, in the city of São Paulo, We have more than 100 organizations. Many cooperatives have been inspired by Copamari to start organizing waste pickers.
I think that society should become more aware and start sorting their waste for us to collect the recyclables. People have to be more aware of how they sort their waste to help us in the selection process. I am proud to be a waste picker, and I will always be.
Maria Teresa Gomes is Geovana, the black goddess of samba rock, a music genre that fuses samba with soul, rock and funk. Geovana was born in Rio de Janeiro in 1948 and became famous in the 1970s after winning the São Paulo Samba Biennial Festival and having her songs sang by huge names like Jair Rodrigues, Martinho da Vila and Clara Nunes. In recent decades, she didn't record any albums, but she never stopped writing songs. This week's Culture Talk featured the story of the musician, who also addressed structural racism in Brazil and the country's political situation today.
This was my first record. It took me 4 years and a couple of days to make it.
Pela santa madrugada, a estrela matutina e a lua for embora dormir.
Her gift was born from the samba sessions on the outskirts of Rio de Janeiro. Her inspiration came from the oral stories told by her family about their ancestral black culture.
Lá em casa tinha macumba.
We had macumba back home, and that led to samba. That's how it happened. Then I started to develop my music on my own, but we knew that it was samba. Later, I met older people who said that I was good at it. Since then, my life has been about samba.
E eu vim fazendo samba o tempo todo.
Aonde você foi, ô menina? Onde você vai, ô menina?
79%
People don't take samba and black people seriously. They don't respect us. So many things are wrong. 79% of the people they kill are black people. Young kids who are not even in school. That's the first problem. If only black people were treated the way they are portrayed in carnival season, being praised, being granted awards. But when the carnival parade is over, the police go back to arresting and killing black people.
eu poderia levar mata-leão nesses dias aqui.
I define myself as the godmother of the Samba Battalion of Slackers.
Now, it's time to learn about the delicious flavors of Brazil with our segment, Brazilianism.
Mexido is a meal you cook using all those leftovers from your fridge. It's about using the ingredients you have near you. But today, we are going to suggest some ingredients. Heat up a pan, baste it with half the pork fat. Braise the bacon, the chopped pork leg, and the sausage. With the other half of the pork fat, braise garlic, onions, and collard greens. Then, add pre-cooked beans and the eggs and keep stirring it until it cooks. Add the pre-cooked rice, then the corn starch and the manioc starch, and the fried pork skins. Finally, fry the pork. There, it's ready!
Wanna keep up with what is happening in Brazil? Add our number to your contacts and send us a WhatsApp message with your name and country. I see you next week.